Are you looking for a wall-mounted pull-up bar that can be hung outdoors or indoors, a big one or a small one? Then GORNATION has several options for you. So GORNATION is a German brand and we are a big fan of all of their products and we tested most of them. And actually now they're coming out with a couple of new products. So they have a wall-mounted dip bar, they have a wooden plyo box and 3 different options for wall-mounted pull-up bars. And actually they already had a wall-mounted pull-up bar which was called the Pull-up Bar Multi, which doubles as a ceiling-mounted pull-up bar. And that one is actually our favorite ceiling-mounted pull-up bar, but we didn't like it as a wall-mounted pull-up bar because it's too close to the wall. So we're very happy that they came out with 3 different options for new wall-mounted pull-up bars, and these we're very curious about, so let's test them out. So it was actually very easy to assemble these pull-up bars and to hang them up, and you also have the option to hang them on your ceiling. But honestly, then we are a bigger fan of the Pull-up Bar Multi because it's also cheaper. And besides that, if you want to hang them up on your wall, we are a big fan of hanging them outside because then you can hang them as high as you want and you get to do exercise on top of the bar. And of course, if you indoors have a very high ceiling, you could also hang it there, but most people won't have this option. So looking at this thing, I really like the sleek design and I always like the look of the black powder coated steel. And also this one looks like a solid construction, and on the side it has the GORNATION logo, which also looks cool. And the length of this thing is 115 centimeters, so that's very nice for doing your wide pull-ups and such. And the wall clearance is 75 centimeters, which I think is going to be very nice for doing back levers. And when it comes to the thickness of the bar, this is actually 32 millimeters, which is also very nice. All right, nice, feels super sturdy. And I said, it's very nice that you can do exercise on the top. And if you do a pullover, you do have to bend your knees. Otherwise you'll be hitting the wall, but you definitely have enough space towards the wall, so that's nice. Nice. So of course you can do your basic exercise like your pull-ups and your chin-ups, and actually I don't have to bend my knees, but also I could have hung the bar a bit higher. And besides that, this bar is nice and wide, so this is nice for your wide pull-ups or maybe some archer pull-ups. Nice. I really like the grip of the bar, but of course if you start sweating, you can always use some chalk or some grip tape to optimize the grip. All right, enough space to the wall, but you don't want to swing too much. All right, so of course you can also do some lever-based exercise on this thing, so that's very nice. And also you can combine it with some tools, like for instance your gymnastics rings. So of course like this, you get to do ring muscle ups and also straight bar dips. Plus you can do an L-sit. And if I would now get into a back lever, of course the wall would be in the way, and also an L-sit this direction is not nice. Plus a muscle up like this is also not ideal. But still, rings are very nice on this. So of course you can also use some resistance bands to do some assisted work or to do some warm-ups. So of course, if you want to make your exercise harder, you can also do some weighted calisthenics on this. And actually it's been tested up to 150 kilos. So of course you can use a weight vest, but also you could get some weights and a dip belt and do your exercise like that. So basically, so far I'm a big fan of this pull-up bar. It has a very nice grip, it feels super sturdy, and also it is nice and wide for your wide exercises like your wide pull-ups or your archer pull-ups. And also you have enough space to the wall, so you can do your back lever and exercise like that. But also you can hang it up as high as you want, and then you have enough space for your legs. So for instance, I don't have to bend my knees when I'm doing my pull-ups. And also you can do exercise on the top, like for instance your straight bar dips or your muscle ups. So this is very nice. And also you get to combine it with some tools like our favorite tool, the gymnastics rings, or you can use some resistance bands to do some assisted work or your warm-ups. And besides that, you can also do weighted calisthenics on this one with a weight vest or a dip belt. And basically you have a lot of exercise variety with this one, so we are a big fan. So with the big version, this one you can also hang indoors, but honestly for that it's quite big. So if you have a lot of space indoors, it might be nice, but in general we don't think many people will do this. And actually with this one you also have the option to buy a 30 euro cheaper version, which doesn't have the galvanized steel and also not the water resistant coating. But honestly we would always invest the extra 30 euros, because then if you ever put it inside and you want to take it outside, you still have this option. And actually if you don't have much space, you also have an option to buy an indoor version which is smaller, and that one you can only hang indoors. So let's test that one out. So this is the medium, and again it looks very similar to the large one and I really like the design. But of course this one, as you can see, it's thinner. So this one is 90 centimeters wide. So actually this is 25 centimeters less long. So I think this might be less nice for doing wide stuff like your pull-ups. And also the distance from the wall, this one is 60 centimeters and the other one is 75. So actually I think the large one would be much nicer for doing back lever, for instance. And the diameter once again is 32 millimeters. So this is also very nice. All right, so it is still nice for wide pull-ups. I would like it to be a little bit wider, but of course this saves you space. So if you need that, then this is definitely a nice option. So when it comes to the grip, this one I don't feel any difference compared to the large one that can be used outside, but this one you can only hang indoors. But for the grip, it is still very nice. Skin the cat is doable. Oh, okay, when I do a back lever, it's like a assisted back lever. So this is not so nice. Let's try front lever. Okay, also front lever is not ideal at all. So the lever based exercise on this one are not ideal. So again, I do like the grip, but if you start sweating, maybe chalk or grip tape will help you. So again, let's test out some tools in combination with the medium bar. Alright, so with the rings you can actually do a muscle up, which you can't do on the bar itself. But when I do the dips, then I hit my legs on the wall. So let's try it like this. So actually doing ring dips, this direction is much better than this direction. And again, assisted back lever. And front lever. If you put the rings on the side like this, then you do get to do some front lever and back lever work. So again, you can use some resistance bands to do your warm-ups, but also you can do some assisted work. But actually, when you're doing your pull-ups, for instance, you would have to put the band on your knees because you can't extend your legs. And again, this bar can handle 150 kilos, so there is space to do some weighted calisthenics. But with this one, because it's hanging low and you don't have much space for your legs, we don't think it's actually very comfortable to use a dip belt. So then you can of course use a weight vest instead. So before we conclude, we found out that 94% of our viewers don't actually subscribe. So subscribe so that we can make more and better reviews for you with more and more partners. So when it comes to the pricing, the large pull-up bar, if you want it for outdoor use, it will cost you 150 euros. But if you want the indoor version, you can actually get it 30 euros cheaper for 120 euros. And if you want the indoor version, which is the medium one, then that will cost you 100 euros. So all of the wall-mounted pull-up bars that we've tested today, they have very good build quality. I really like the grip and also the sleek design of it. And actually we are a big fan of the large version, and we would always hang it up outside because then you have enough space to exercise on top of the bar like muscle ups, straight bar dips and pullovers. And also that one is a little bit wider than the medium, which is very nice for wide exercises, but more importantly, you have enough space towards the wall so you can do some lever-based exercises. And if you want to hang the big version indoors, you do need a very high ceiling if you want to still be able to do muscle ups indoors. And actually, if you get that one, you can save yourself 30 euros by getting the indoor version. But honestly, we would always invest this extra 30 euros because then you still have the option to take it from indoors to outdoors. But if you don't have a high ceiling and you are considering getting the medium, we would actually advise you to first consider the pull-up bar multi for your ceiling, because that one is cheaper and it gives you more exercise variety. But if you still want the wall-mounted pull-up bar that saves space, you can consider the multi, but you will be sacrificing some exercises. So long story short, in our wall-mounted pull-up bar comparison, the winner was the Gravity Fitness pull-up bar, but they don't longer sell that one. So the large outdoor wall-mounted pull-up bar by GORNATION is our new winner. So you can actually get 10% off with our discount code CWW10. So click the links in the description or here, and then we'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.